Hello again, this is ؐYouryäݸɁ. Today we're going to cover chapter 4, part 1. And in this chapter or audio, you will learn the following topic, or we're going to cover the following topic. Because we're going to deal with numbers, we need to know the plural form in Syriac. ዀ<applause> is plural. And also, in Syriac, as we mentioned before, we have nothing like or no such no gender. Everything in Syriac has a gender. And so, we have to know when we're going to say the number in the masculine or feminine form. When the noun or adjective after the number is going to be female or male, or in general, feminine or masculine. And then those are the two grammars we're going to cover before we're going to start learning the names of the number in Syriac. And then the masculine and feminine forms of the number. Also, we're going to cover the original fact of the international number. In fact, I'm just going to refer to the appendix we have in this book about the international number, how they were created, and who designed the way we see it now, or we use it now. How to read the component numbers, 20 to 90, and of course, so that this should be 21 to 99. And also we're going to learn how to read the hundreds, means 3 digits, and then we're going to learn the numerical values and names of numbers beyond 499. In chapter 2, when we learn about the about the letters, in the same times we learn about the numbers, and we stop by 499 when we have tau sadeteth 499. That's where we have covered so far about the numbers. So today, or in this audio, we're gonna continue beyond the 499. And also we're gonna learn the thousands, how we're gonna say the thousand, and reading the thousand, the 4-digit and 5 digits. And in the same way, and which is not covered in this textbook, you can use the billion and million and so on. The only thing you need to know the name of million is miljona, billion is miljara, and so on. First thing we're going to cover is the first two grammars, or we already had some grammars before, about 11 of them. We put them as grammar 1, grammar 2 till grammar 11 in chapter 2, and here we're going to learn 2 more grammars. We need to know them before we're going to deal with numbers. The plural, or what we call the ₦ဆိаме. Plural nouns are indicated in Syriac by placing 2 big dots. Those 2 dots, we call them ₦ဆိάμε, 2 big dots next to each other above a letter, and replace the skapa. Okay, so you know that we learned that every noun or adjective in Surat ends with the skapa, ends with the alap, with the skapa on a preceding letter. So what is going to happen when we have plural form? We're going to replace 2 big dots. Okay, we're going to talk about that, where we're going to replace them. And we're going to replace or change the σκάπα to ἰσλαμακίσια, the sounds of A on the bottom, or underneath the letter before the last one. If the word contains, now we're going to talk about where we're going to have those two dots replace. If we have the letter resh, r, r, and this is a grammar, by the way, we're going to replace those two dots above the resh. And in fact, they're going to show or replace the line for the letter R. For example, here, if you look at the book, if you open that page, it show there how exactly they're going to look like, or they're going to replace the dash above the letter R. And this one, wherever or regardless of where it is in the word. For example, if the letter R is at the beginning of the word, so they're going to replace that there. They're going to replace in that R. Some of this example here, I have daira, okay, as a plural, so it's going to be daire. So if you look at those two words, daira, which is in a singular, and it ends with the alap and σκάπα on the preceding resh letter, and when you put it on in plural form, the σκάπα is changed to ΙΣΛΑΜΑΚΙΣια, and we put two dots on the resh, the letter resh or R. The second one, gaura, which means man. Gaura is in a singular. If I'm going to say man, I'm going to have gaure, gaure. Again, from gaura to gaure. And we put the two dots above the resh. Now, what about if the word contains two resh, two R's? The two dots will be on the last one. Again, we are right to left, okay, language. So the last one is going to be the last one to the left. Now, where are we going to replace those two dots for plural? I have in the end of the book, appendix F. Now we're going to assume that the word does not have the letter resh. Okay, so if the letter has no resh, letter resh, so where are we going to put those two dots? If you look in appendix F, I have some rules and basic thing to help you where we're going to put the two dots. Most likely, most time, those two dots, they're going to replace or they're going to place him on the letter before the last letter. So most of the time, or if you see some letter has no vowel, you can replace them on that one. You're going to make a mistake if you replace them in wrong spot? No. We need to tell the reader those two dots are what? Are for plural. So that's how it's gonna make it in there. As like any language, always we have some exception in the plural forms. You know, like even though we can have those two dots on the top of one letter, but not always, and replace the σκάπα with the ΙΣΛΑΜΑΚΙΣια, and also sometimes the entire word change. And the funny thing here, sometimes, like it says is here in A, some words have a feminine form in a singular. So exactly what happened, and you may gonna say, well, how I'm gonna know this one is a feminine, this is a masculine? We're gonna just discuss this topic in the next section. So they are in a feminine form. That's mean end with the tau alap at the end. Okay, so but when we put it in a plural, they're gonna change it to what? To masculine form. That means they do not have tau alap at the end. For example, here the word means miltha. Miltha means word, also means verb. Okay, miltha, word. If I'm, it's a feminine form. Why? Because it ends with the tau alap, and tau here is sounds of th here. Miltha. So this, the plural is mille. Mille. Beta, which means egg. Beta. Bi'e. Beta is in a feminine, singular feminine form. But when we have it in a plural, it's going to be bi'e. 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 Second one, beth, it says some words have a masculine form in a singular, but when we put them in a plural, they're going to move, or they're going to change to the feminine form. And means what? They're going to have the tau alap at the end. For example, nausha, soul, breath, or something like that. Okay, it is masculine because it does not end with a tau alap, but when I put it in the plural, naushatha, you see, end with a tha, naushatha, souls, that is the plural, and is in the feminine form. Baba, dad, baba, is a masculine. Is going to be babawatha. Babawatha. That's. Other examples, okay, here we have village, qaritha, qurya, bakhta. The plural of bakhta, woman, is inshe. Totally different. Has nothing to similar to the original word in a singular. So bakhta, inshe. You may hear some people, they say bakhtatha for plural. They use it. Honestly, is not the right word, but people, they get used to it. So bakhtatha, they use it for women in a plural, as a plural. Betha, betha, bate, bate. Sapra, which means morning or tomorrow. Saprutha, saprutha. Shata, year. Shin, shin. Feminine and masculine form, as I mentioned before, that to form a feminine from masculine, we add tau. You know, again, just to remind you that we said all nouns and adjectives, they end with the alap and skap on the preceding letter. Now, to make, and they are in the masculine with some exception, we're going to study those exceptions as well. To make or form the feminine from masculine, we add tau before alap at the end. And we kind of move the vowels, especially on the last two letters. And let's see here, because we said every noun, masculine and feminine, has to end with the alap and a skapa on the preceding letter. So we need to pay attention here when we add tau for feminine. What is going to happen to that vowel, skapa vowel, on the preceding letter of alap? Before we're going to get to more example, we need to cover a couple of facts in here. It says all male names are male, like in Elia, Ishaq, Ishaq. All female names are females, like in Shushan, Warina. Name of all cities and villages except a few of them are in the feminine form. Cardinal directions are in the feminine, and all letters name. In the examples shown in that page, I'm gonna just cover 2 or 3 of these, and you may start practice how we gonna for reading, how you gonna say those. From the right column, it says, under the masculine column, it says Melka, king. Melka, king. Queen is Meliktha. Meliktha. Look what happened to this one. Compare the masculine to feminine, and just I cover that one in a minute, what happened there. So Melka, Meliktha as a feminine. And because we already covered the plural as well, so how exactly they're going to be the masculine plural and the feminine plural for king and queen. For feminine queen, µαλκιάθα, µαλκιάθα, and for king or kings, melke. Melke. Melke, kings. Μαλκιάθα, queens. I'm going to take another example, Melpana, teacher. Melpana. So it's a masculine, Melpana. To form the feminine for this one, or yes, the feminine form, we're going to say Melpanitha. It's a female teacher. Melpanitha, female teacher. Now look at exactly what happened there. And now the plural for female, Melpaniatha. Melpaniatha. That's female teachers. For male, Melpane. Melpane, male teachers. Last word I'm going to cover in this table or group of examples, Zamara, singer. Zamara, singer. Zamarta, Zamarta for feminine. Zamariatha, feminine singers. Zamariatha. Zamare, Zamare, masculine or male singers. The following group of examples in that page are common nouns, place, things, and ideas. For example, and we're gonna study the honestly, they don't have like some of them, they do not have the masculine. If it's a masculine, do not have the feminine form of that one, but we can put that one in the plural. For example, Tura, Tura, mountain. Mountains is Ture, Ture. κτάουα, book. κτάουε, κτάουε. Mdita, city. Mdinatha, Mdinatha. Matha, village. Methwatha, Methwatha. Exceptions to the rules. What exactly means by that one? You know, here for feminine and masculine, it says the only class of exception consists of nouns that are feminine in gender but do not have the ݹɁ ending. Some words, and I mentioned that we have some exception, they are feminine but they do not have the 콴, like the example show or group of words we have there. I'm gonna just take a couple of them. Either, hand. ﷺ, hand, ﷺ in the plural. If you look at the ﷺ, does not end with the taw alab. It ends with the dal alab, which is not the feminine as a form of the letter. Yumma, mother, yumma. It does not end with a taw alab, but still is a feminine form. Okay, we can plural this one in a two-way. Yummatha, we say always yummatha. Yimme, yimme, it's like more form one to do, yimme, but people always use yummatha, mothers, or moms, sorry, moms. Another example, if I gonna have tree, ilana, ilana is a feminine but does not end with the taw alab. Okay, ilane, ilane, trees. Now I want you to look at this table and study the other names we have there. And again, look, all of them are in the right column. All of them are feminine. None of them ends with the taw alab. You have shimsha there, ara, and so on. The other exception, okay, class exception, consists of nouns that are masculine in gender. Look at this one here, but do not have the taw alab. I'm sorry, do have taw alab. They are masculine, but they end with the taw alab, which is the symbol of the feminine. So here, like we said, sawta, sawta, it's a classic verb, classical language verb. He listened for male. Okay? And another example there in this group, motha. Motha, death, is a masculine, but end with the taw alab, which is the feminine symbol. Again, it is a masculine, means if I'm going to use it with the numbers, okay, I have to use a masculine number or form for that one. A masculine form of the number with the death. Okay, so that's exactly what I mean. Even though it ends with a taw alab, I need to know this word is a feminine or masculine. One rule here, it says notes, okay. Really it's good to know about these rules and make it easy for you when you talk. The pairing members of the human and animal body, most of them are feminine in gender. Even though do not end with the taw alab, you can tell they are feminine. What exactly mean by the pairing members? For example, I have two eyes, I have two ears, I have two hands, I have two legs, and so on. So in animals too, if you have two horns, and all this are kind of what they are in the feminine form. Okay, they are feminine, sorry, now they are feminine, but maybe you're not gonna they do not end with the taw alab. For example, qarna, the horn, qarna, does not end with the taw alab, but it is a feminine word. Ena, eye, is a feminine, okay, word, but does not end with the taw alab. Now natha honestly end with the taw alab, but again it's a feminine by default. Kathpa, shoulder, and this is another word we learn about shoulder. We learned about shoulder rusha before. Now this one is another word or another meaning for kathpa, and most kathpa is more like classic word and also used by the mountain accent. Shoulder, okay, that's more like again C for classical. Ida, aqla, So all these are pairing members and they are feminine. Some nouns are masculine only. They do not have feminine noun, like anpa is a bird, okay, type of bird, anpa. Baqa, mosquito, okay, it is masculine. By most of the people, they think baqa is a feminine, okay, but baqa as a word, honestly, is a masculine. Eagle, nishra. I don't have a feminine for those. Always is a nishra. If I want to say the female or female eagle, I have say naqwad nishra. Naqwad nishra means female eagle. And ዄ효Ɂ owl. We learned before buma is owl. ჺ효Υ also is an owl. And this word used always ჺ효Υ for bad thing. It's part of culture for Syriac, and I believe not only Syriac but all Middle East people, buma owl or ዄ효Υ owl is a bad thing. In the following page, or in the same page, there is some practice quizzes. I want you to practice this one as much as you can. Give the feminine and plural form of the following masculine form. So you're gonna just try your best. How are we gonna put those? Based on the two rules we have there for masculine and feminine and a plural, how are we gonna make the feminine and plural for the masculine noun? In the second one is the opposite. Give the masculine and plural form of the following feminine nouns. That is gonna as a practice for you guys to do. The next topic, now we're going to talk about the numbers in Syriac. The names of number in Syriac. The cardinal numbers 1 to 10. Here, from 1 to 10 is either male or female, feminine or masculine. So we can learn the two forms of these 10 numbers in the masculine and feminine as well. Before we're going to study that one, it says here the names of number are either simple, single, or component number. Single number like 1, 2, 3, ḵ, 3, 3. Note here that in general, Syriac people, when they count the number, they're going to use the masculine form from 1 to 10. Unless, you know, like for example, say, hey, can you count from 1 to 10? Automatically that person is going to count 1 to 10, ⵅ usra, in the masculine form. Again, unless you need to specify a noun after the number or the adjective after the number, and that if it's a feminine, you're going to say the feminine number form of the number before that. So xa 3 3, 1 2 3, and component number like 13, 12, 13, 13, and so on. These numbers can be masculine like in 噚agora. You see here, gora is a man, okay, a masculine name, a word, sorry. Xa should be in the masculine form too. So xa is a masculine. 噚agora means one man, or in general a man. ȳαλόπε. ޔαλόπε, students, okay, are in the masculine form. So I'm going to use the number 2 in the masculine, յαλόπε. Now we're going to say, how I'm going to know which one is a feminine and which one is a masculine? We're going to study that one in the same page in a minute. Example, another example, 噚10 11 books, 噚10. However, the only number we're gonna have in the spoken language are masculine, feminine, 1 to 10. Okay, those they have masculine, feminine are the 1 to 10. After the 1 to 10, you can use, they are for both or same for both. So I'm going to say dựότητα քդեսեր and in a feminine form here, ՅԱՐդա, one girl or a girl, ՅԱΡդա. ՏԻՏԵ ملبنياتا, ՏԻΤЕ ملبنياتا, 2 female teachers. Now, it is very important if you're going to translate it to English, and I'm using this one as an English. When someone says to you, ΤΙΤΕ ملبنياتا, and you need to translate it, you need to be very specific. You cannot say only 2 teachers. Yes, I know that teachers, but you need to be very specific. Those are female teachers. I'm talking about the female teacher. So you're going to say 2 female teachers. Even though I did not specify that one there because I already says feminine in the beginning. So I say 2 teachers in my 2 parentheses. Okay, the numbers from 3 to 10 in the masculine form ends with the alap and iskapa on the preceding letter. That's to make it just like a small rule here. And without alap and iskapa for feminine form, except the number 8 ends with the zlam qishya a and alap. Just to remind our readers, the following names of numbers are in spoken language. Okay, that's you're gonna say, do we have something different in classical? Yes, a little bit slight different there, but it's okay. Our subject is to learn the spoken language. So here in this table, as you see here, I have 1 to 10, and I have them in the masculine form, and then the feminine form, then I have the masculine example, feminine example, and the last column to the right is the meaning of those examples, masculine and feminine. For example, I have 1 boy, comma, girls, means 1 boy, 1 girl. Just for spacing here, I need to make it easy for everyone, just not to confuse in this case. Okay. Number 1, the name of 1 is kha, as we learned before, for male, ղდა for female, example for male, ⵅաբրոնա. Brona is boy, is a masculine, so we're going to use խաբրոնա. For female, I use brata, girl, is a female word. So I'm going to say ղდა brata. So in English it says 1 boy, comma, girl. That's mean 1 boy, for example, խաբրոնա, and 1 girl for ղდა brata. 2, masculine tre, female ΤΙΤΕ, example masculine tre melke. Example feminine, ΤΙΤΕ melkata or melkiata, you can say that. 2 kings, 2 queens. 3, ثلاثة for male, ثلاث for feminine, ثلاثة كثاوة, ثلاث ملبنياتا. 3 books, 3 teachers, means 3 female teachers. 4, أربع, أربع, أربع قشيشة, أربع إيلان. 5, خمسة, خمش, خمسة جورة, خمش إنش. 6, إشتا, إشت, إشتا خبوشة, إشت portaqale. 7 ዄȯአ မျိȯạ Յޮአቶ르 Յῴተውርያታ. 8 ثمانية 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 تلميذ ثمانية تلميذياتا. 9 تسعة تسع تسعة ملاخ تسع ملخياثة. 10 إسرة إسر إسرة خوخ إسر خيار. Now, if you go to and see appendix H, you're gonna learn a little bit history about who created the international number and based on what. It's good to know how and why we have the international number like we see here, 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, 11. I mean, from 0 to 9. Why they are in this shape, based on what? There is a story behind that and why they created like this one. So I encourage everyone to see appendix H to know more about how these numbers were formed like this. The numbers, here note 2, it says in the spoken Syriac language, which is the subject of this book, the names of numbers from 11 to 19 are the same for feminine and masculine, and they are come in the masculine form. Again, this is the spoken. Classic, no, there is a difference between masculine and feminine. So in the spoken language, we have both of them in masculine form. I'm going to read those from 11 to 19 quickly here. 11 خادسر 12 تريسر 13 تلتاسر 14 أرباسر 15 خمشاسر 16 إشتاسر 17 شؤاسر 18 تمانيسر 19 تشعاسر. Counting by tens, 20 to 90. Okay, as we learned before when we study the letters, that's beginning with the letter Yod, each following letter is counted by tens until the letter Sade. Sade is 90, 10 to 90. And the name of these numbers, they end with the Yod, they end with the Hwasa Noon. Noon is silent. So you're going to hear that E at the end. E at the end. That's how each one is going to end. I'm going to read 20, 30, 40 till 90. Listen to this one. Isri, Tlathi, Arbi, Khamshi, Ishti, Sho'i, Tmani, Tish'i. Now, how about the component numbers 21 to 99? Means like 21, 22, 23, and so on. Again, in Surath, we have two ways of saying those component number. One, it's the mountain accent, okay, where we say the 10th and then followed by the singular, or the Western dialect, okay, where they say the singular first and the 10th second. And that exactly the Arabs read their number too, just like the Western dialect. Okay, reading component number in Syriac is like reading the number in English, and that's what we adopt and agree to use. We're going to use just like English, which is the mountain accent here. It's just for my reader or the reader of this book. If they are English native language, they totally understand and not going to be hard for them to remember how they read the number. However, saying the number in both style has been okay for all Syriac people. It's just a way of saying it in different ways, in different accents. So, therefore, the component numbers 21 to 29 in Syriac are in the following order. The 10th precede the waw letter, precede the singular number. For example, to say 21, I'm going to say 20 first and wa, which is wa in Surah, and then 1, kha. So it's going to be isri, which is 20, ukha. Isri, ukha. 33, tlathi, utlatha. Now, just to learn both accent, okay, you can, to say 21 in the Western dialect, okay, they say ዄļ효ឧ isri. And to put it together, we're going to say ນໍௌ isri. 33, tlatha utlathi. Tlatha utlathi. You see here ݹɁ isri, tlatha utlathi. The waw in the middle, which means and, always join the first part. 噚ௌ isri. Tlatha utlathi, and so on. Okay. Again, we're going to use the 10 precede the singular number in this book, just to adopt one style, not confusing our readers. Hundreds, okay. Beginning with the 噚ௌ, each following letter is counted by hundreds until the letter tau. So 100, 200, 300, and 400, we already have the numeric value for them in Surah. Now we need to learn how we're going to read the number. To read hundreds, you say the number 1 to 9, precede the word imma or emme. Okay, imma for singular, that means if it's 100, emme more than 100, 2 to 9. So we're going to say emme in a plural. Precede the noun in a plural form, if any. For example, to read 600, you say ishta emme. Okay? For male, ishit emme for female. Again, because they are 1 to 9, and we're going to apply now the masculine and feminine in here too. But it is clear if you're going to use it in a masculine form, that is fine. Examples I have there: 100 噚ەම්მა, 200 تريئمة, 300 ثلاثة 400 أربعة. Now in the case of 1,000, and we don't need, because I'm going to cover only 1,000 in this book, and it's going to be applied to 1 million, milione in plural, billions, miliara, miliare, and so on, 1 to 9. And you can use the masculine form for both masculine and feminine nouns. For example, here I have 300 women. You can say ثلاثة إنش, that is the masculine form, or you can say ثلاث إنش. You can say either one. How are we going to read the 3 digits? Okay, and after that we're going to go for the numeric values of names beyond 499. The example I have to read 3 digits, just like English, when we write hundredths, tenth, and singular, the only thing we're gonna, same thing in Syriac, the only thing we're gonna put wa. So hundred wa, tenth wa, and then singular. For example, here I have a 325. 325. How are we gonna say it? ثلاثة وإسري وخمسة. ثلاثة وإسري وخمسة. The numerical values and names of the numbers beyond 499. The numeric values for numbers 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, how are we going to form those? We already stopped by tau, and that was the 400s, and how about 500 till million, billion, and so on? So how are we going to do that? Okay, we have something like, from 500. If you remember that noon is 50, now if I use the letter noon and putting 3 dots in like a triangle shape above the noon, that means 500. For 600, we're going to bring simketh, which is 60, and we put 3 dots above, that's 600. Same thing for 700, A is 70, put 3 dots above, 700. P is 80, put 3 dots above, 800. Sade is 90, put 3 dots above, means what? 900. Now how are we going to say that one? It's just we're going to say the number, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus imme, because they are in a plural, okay, and that's it. For example, 500, we're going to say خمسة imme. 600 ishta imme. 700 shu'a imme. 800 تمانية imme. 900 تش'a imme. Let's just read 3 digits. 714 students. Okay? However, plural name always could be mix of male and female, so always we're going to use the masculine, which is the same for male and female. So we're going to say شقة أمة وأرباسر يالوبي. شقة أمة وأرباسر يالوبي. 1,000, alpa for 1, alpe for plural. Okay, of course, again, alpa when we have 1,000, alpe anything more than 1, from 2 to 900,000. Okay, so for example, 900,000 is going to be tish'a amme alpe. So what exactly the numeric value for 1,000 is? Now we're going to go back to 1, which is alap. We put a line above, make it 1,000. So alap, a slight line above, is 1,000. Beth, line above Beth, 2,000. Gamal, line above 3,000, and so on. That's the numeric value. Kha alpa, tre alpe, 2,000. Khamshasar alpe, tish'i alpe, umma alpe, tlatha umma alpe, tish'a umma alpe. Note one thing, in Syriac we do not say like English, we use 23 hundredths for 2,300. We don't use that style, we read the numbers as is. So for example, 2,300 is 2,300, we're going to say 2,300 means 3,000 وثلاثة أمة. How to read thousands? To read thousand, just like English, okay, we have 4 digits or 5 digits here, from 1 to 900,000. We're gonna say 1 alpa, 1 for 1, alpa for 1, alpe for more, and read the number adding alpa at the end or alpe at the end. 35,000, we're gonna say ₦Ɂokaauၤ, that's 35. Add alpe in the plural, ₦Ũokaauၤ. 146,000 $1,040,000. So those are dollar. So we're gonna say dolare. We're gonna learn how we're gonna read money in a minute or later on. Maybe it's gonna be in a part 2, not in this one. So we're gonna learn how to read money in part 2. To read the 4-digit number, you say the thousand, proceed hundred, proceed tenth, proceed the singular, proceed the noun in a plural for form, if any. For example, to say 2015, we're going to say 3,015. 4,213 houses. So we're going to say 4,313 بيت.